It was a long night as many here in India went to bed filled with raw emotions. Disbelief coupled with euphoria and a massive sense of pride. Our cricketers topped the unbeatable, unshakable Australia in their tracks. The very same Aussies who know how to win a game from just about anywhere. And in no less than a World Cup semi-final. There were tears, there was relief, and it felt like a heavy weight was lifted off their shoulders. So we ask, what does this win mean for Indian cricket? And what did the women achieve last night? Now, I'm aware this is a sports show and sports is about the facts, right? The scoreline, who won, who lost, how did the win come about, what records were broken? Well, plenty. For one and foremost, this was the highest run chase in a World Cup. And that ought to tell you enough. But there is more to this than just the scoreline. A scoreline that will not do justice to what this match truly meant for the women out there who broke down in tears right after. What this meant for us as a nation. Now, I know, and a lot of you watching this would confirm, many quiet and unbothered households suddenly would have come alive last night. The dormant TV sets frantically turned on when some internet site notified you of the scorecard. You were wildly thinking, is this really happening? The last 30 minutes of the game was pure drama. The dugout was very stoic. They were sitting in their spots, not moving an inch. You could see the tears welling up in Captain Harmanpreet's eyes as the two batters out in the middle moved closer to the target. The women huddled next to each other with Amol Mazumdar, the coach. They were all fighting their emotions, trying to keep it all in check. Some clutching their chains, an object of faith, no doubt. Contrastingly, out in the pitch, in the humid Mumbai still air, with the world now watching and a fierce Australia still holding on, Jemimah Rodrigues and Harmanpreet Kaur were a sea of composure. Putting one silken touch after the other, knocking off the runs very calmly without any rush. And of course, upsetting the rhythms of the wily Molyneux and experienced Sutherland. Jemimah kept muttering to herself even as her partner came in to talk to her in between deliveries, trying to keep things easy and breezy. Even as every single person watching, from the spectators at the stadium to the teammates, the Australians, the opposition out there, us watching at our homes, we knew what an epic moment this was. We knew how nervous anyone would be in the situation. When that final run was struck, all hell broke loose. Smriti Mandhana, Jemimah's closest friend and confidant in that dressing room, was first out, running towards the women out in the middle as Jemimah crumpled to the ground in tears. Harmanpreet Kaur broke down as she was engulfed by her coach Amol, tears and smiles of relief everywhere. All the other girls had surrounded Jemimah by then, bringing her to her feet. Those pictures rocked a whole nation as realization sunk in on what this Indian team had just achieved. Jemimah's raw, real emotions last night told you what this win meant, not just for her, but for entire team. A team that was being tagged for its heartbreaks in the past. A team that was told they couldn't handle pressure. They couldn't handle knockouts. That they didn't have it in them to finish off games. That they just couldn't cross the line. They were no good. But that was not all.
It was really hard this last month. I've cried almost every day through this tour. I wasn't doing well mentally, going through anxiety. When I couldn't carry on, my teammates encouraged me. Each and every member who chanted, cheered, and believed for every run they were cheering, that pumped me up.
This is someone who was dropped from the 2022 World Cup, who was scoring nothing heading into this clash in this tournament, who was out of her depths and came out on top despite all of that. That there is true strength. That is champion stuff. Bearing your soul then for the world to see, to let them see your pain, your vulnerability, your weakness. That led to a moment of absolute triumph. A triumph that was relatable. It's a resolve that the best somehow tap into in the dying moments of a game. Something that just keeps them going. And Jemimah did not get here by herself. Her family who was there rooting for her, her teammates who pushed her up the order at number 3, who were there with her throughout, putting her faith in her, all helped her get here. That is grit. That is tenacity. These women made a whole country wake up from their slumber. While the official numbers, of course, aren't completely in, some snapshots tell me around 125 million people tuned in overall to watch a historic match unfold, and a peak concurrence of 15.94 million. You all were willed to come and be a part of something incredible. Not out of obligation, not as a favor. This was no empathy or pity watch. These athletes, with their fearless display, commanded us to see them and be amazed by them. Those tears, those emotions spilling out for all to see told us how much they had endured, how tough this journey had been, how doubly hard they've had to strive to be seen, to be cheered on and even watched. Now, the tournament is not over. We know that there is still a World Cup final. And by the time November 2nd comes, you'll see many previews coming up, matchups, what to expect when India takes on South Africa. But today, as an Indian and a sports lover, that doesn't matter to me. What eventually happens on November 2 will make no difference to what we learned last night, that these cricketers have already showed us all that is possible. They have showed us a glimpse of what it takes and what it means to be superhuman. And that is the memory I will keep with me of India's champions igniting this beloved sport once again.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.